I normally don't do this, but in this video I will be responding to a comment I received on the video titled "Why You Should Not Give Up on Dating", where I said 99% of all people who say they have decided to be single are only coping because they cannot find any good romantic partner out there. Well, here's what the comment I received said. Bro, I hate to tell you this, but getting married and having a girlfriend today, or whatever you want to call it, it's just pointless. Women don't do anything they are expected to do in a relationship, which makes the relationship completely pointless. These ladies deserve to get what they asked for, which is loneliness and misery. Now, normally, I would just explain everything wrong about this comment as a reply, but the thing is, I recognize there are a lot of men who think this exact way. Even women who pander to those men say the same thing, and so all those men need to hear what I have to say, which is why I have decided to make this video where I will basically respond to this comment. So, first of all, he claims getting married and having a girlfriend today is pointless. Well, what is the point of getting married anyways? Well, from a scientific point of view, it is so that you can have children with someone and start a family with someone, so that you can spread your genes and spread your legacy, so that you can have someone who will take care of you when you grow old, and so that we can keep having next generations. Now, maybe you don't want kids, which is like fair enough, but I want to have kids. Not only that, but I want to have a lot of kids. I think I am an amazing person, and so I want to spread my amazing genetics. This world needs people who can inherit my amazingness. Okay, it sounded kind of cringe, but I do believe that. I want to spread my legacy because I think my legacy is too good to not be spread. I want to spread my genetics, my ethnicity, my last name, all of that. And this is what Mother Nature intended for me. I was born on this planet so that I can multiply myself, which is why I think there is a high prestige in becoming a father, because you are fulfilling a higher purpose on this world. Also, I am paranoid that my generation will be the last generation on Earth, because so many people nowadays refuse to have children. People choose to lose their virginity just for bragging rights, but they don't want to engage in the actual activity for having children. So someone somewhere has to do something so that we can keep having future generations, and I want to fulfill that role. I want to save our world, which is why I want to have as many children as possible. Maybe you don't want kids, but I do, and you gotta respect that. Now, the counter argument here would be that modern women are not worth having children with because they will not be good mothers and the children will therefore not grow up in a healthy family or something. And it's kind of what this comment tries to say, that women don't do anything they are expected to do in a relationship. And to that, I have to object. Now, it's true that there are horrible women out there who probably should not be good mothers. However, not all women are like that. There are at least millions of women on this planet from our generation alone. Do you seriously think not a single one of them would do anything they are expected to do in a relationship? If you only look for women in nightclubs, of course that's what you think of women. Try looking for women in a church instead, and maybe all the women in your area are horrible. Let's even assume all women in the West or something are horrible. Then work on making money so that you can travel to other parts of the world where you can meet good women around your age. One of the reasons why I make those videos is because I want to be monetized through YouTube so that I can turn this into an online business, so that I don't have to be tied to one geographical location, and so that I can instead travel wherever I want and find good women, because I know there are good women out there. And how do I know that? Because I have seen women around my age that are in happy relationships, and they are even starting to have children now. And how do I know those relationships are happy and not secretly toxic? Because those relationships are boring, and because they are corny. That's how I know. Because the relationships that are interesting and original, those are the ones that typically fall apart. Look at Destiny and that Swedish content creator. They were so original with their open marriage until she left him for someone who looks like an underage Italian. Point is, there are good women out there that are Gen Z. It's just that you cannot find them, either because you think they are too boring or because, shocker, they are not interested in you. Now, a lot of people say American women are horrible, as they are the ones we typically see on all those podcasts. But from my observation, the horrible American women are typically the liberals with a bunch of piercings who aren't even that good looking. But the naturally beautiful women in America, especially the ones who are more conservative, they are true wife material. They are only hiding from you because you think they are boring. Which brings me to the second point I want to make. Not only women, men too. What do I mean by that? Some men are just as useless as some women are. I will get more into that soon, but let me first explain. You are what you attract. If every single woman you go out with is horrible, then that probably says more about you than it does about the women. It's because all the good women want nothing to do with you, so they stay away from you. And so the only women you end up with are degenerate. And I know you think you are not horrible. You think you are the greatest man ever, and so women should respect you. But bro, I used to be the same. I was like, I go to the gym, I try to be as attractive as possible all the time, and I have an amazing personality, so why is no good woman interested in me? And then I realized that I was not giving any value to my tribe, to the people around me. I was being very self-absorbed. Maybe you are not self-absorbed, but maybe there are other major flaws within your character. And you typically identify them through introspection. Therefore, you have to work on becoming a good person first. And not what you think is a good person, but what most people think is a good person. Then you relocate and you look within places where there are good women. Churches, hobbies, instead of clubs and bars. Furthermore, I genuinely believe women are a reflection of men. If women are horrible, it's because of men. It is men's fault that modern women are useless. This has nothing to do with that feminism BS. Allow me to explain. So, I used to date this girl that was indeed useless. She expected me to put in a lot of effort while she barely gave anything back. And so I could be one of those cliche people who shit talks my ex on the internet. But guess what? I have realized that the problems I had with her were not 100% her fault. I was at guilt as well. I let her walk all over me because I was scared to stand up. And why are we scared to stand up for ourselves as men? Because we are afraid that the girl will leave us and we will end up alone forever. And because we are afraid that the girl will report us for being abusive because we stand up for ourselves. And the stupid society will side with the woman and screw us over. I talk more about that in my video titled Men Are Oppressed. This is why, as a man, you need to develop the skill within yourself so that you stop fearing the girl leaving you as soon as you start complaining. And then you have to actually go and talk with the woman, and then have the courage to say, hey, I demand you to not talk to any other guys than me. I demand you to not go out clubbing with your friends when I am not watching. And the reason why I am so demanding is because I genuinely care about you. And I care about our relationship. You can look up all the women who sleep around in their 20s and end up ruining their 30s. And I don't want you experiencing the same fate. Therefore, I demand you not to do certain things. And if you don't listen to me, I will be the one leaving you because I am comfortable being alone. And then good luck trying to find any man that will put up with your BS. Sometimes you have to stand up for your self-worth as a man. And if you live in a society where men are oppressed, and thus society will believe the woman if she accuses you of being toxic and abusive, then relocate to a different country where men and women are actually treated fairly. Now, here's another thing. When it comes to those terrible and useless American women, I personally don't hate them. Personally, I can't help but feel sorry for them. Not because I am simping for them, but because I can relate to them a lot. You see, I used to be just like them. I used to be entitled, attention-seeking, and narcissistic, just like that. I always needed to get validation from the opposite gender, and I wanted to date others just so that I can brag to other people that this beautiful person is attracted to me because I am so amazing. And whenever I was not having the attention I thought I deserved, I had some suppressed thoughts deep down that I was a horrible person who deserved to be punished in the worst way imaginable. But then I started going to Bible discussions, I got into spirituality, and for the first time since long ago, I was able to open myself up to people and admit that I used to be an entitled attention seeker and that I always needed to prove to everyone that I am attractive. And people were understanding. My past self would have expected them to say perhaps, well, you are horrible, you deserve to be punished for being so narcissistic. But they were understanding, and I started learning to forgive myself. Yes, Christianity is all about the belief that Jesus died on the cross so that we can forgive ourselves. But whether you are a believer or not, I can tell you, I felt better about myself when I was able to forgive myself than when I thought deep down that I have to prove to everyone that I am attractive and the girls who rejected me are in the wrong, or else I would have to be punished for being ignorant. So, when this comment says, these ladies deserve to get what they asked for, which is loneliness and misery. No, they deserve to be forgiven. They deserve to find unconditional love, so that they can realize what they have done and be able to live with that in a healthy way. Because that's what have worked for me. But because I used to be just like these ladies, I can relate to them. And it also means something I kind of touched a while ago. It's not only women. Men can also be narcissistic. And men can also feel the need to brag to everyone how much they can attract the opposite gender. And if men don't get what they want, they can also blame the opposite gender for all their problems. So it's not just Western women, it's Western men as well. And I know that, because I used to be just like those modern women, and I am a man for crying out loud. Because your behavior and attitude has nothing to do with your gender. It has all to do with your upbringing. I think a lot of people in this day and age, both men and women, did not receive enough love growing up, and now they are deprived of it, and this is why they act the way they do. And so, the way we solve this issue is by giving those people that love, which they did not receive. And it can't be any love. It must be unconditional love. Because people who showed me unconditional love have helped me go easier on myself. But that is what have worked for me, and everything I have said right here is my philosophy.